expected consequences.
Yeah. So I think, this is an emblem of this concept that in the era of man-made risk and in the era of hyper-transparency, there's no such thing as being a long-armed investor any longer. One example of this is the collapse of the Rana Plaza building in Bangladesh. That in the risk business we have something known as a vicarious liability. That is when your neighbor's dog or your dog bites the neighbor's kid. It's ultimately your problem if it's your supply chain. And I think these types of issues, no matter what the cause, corporations, investors, leaders need to manage and own the consequences. You can't wash your hands of your exploits half a world away. And so in the Rana Plaza collapse, you saw that the global garment industry instantaneously had to come out with adopting a code of conduct and standards and what have you. That wouldn't have happened 30 years ago. And I think these become normalizing factors that whether it's in the Mekong Delta or in the Niger Delta, eventually in the era of hypertransparency, the concept of a long-arm, remote investor with zero liability, I think that's a rarity these days. And that's part of the reason I think many folks are just leery to invest in the first place, because they know that today, unlike at any point in human history, all of these misdeeds abroad will come back to haunt you. But that shouldn't be an argument for not investing. If anything, it's an argument for investing and actually abiding by the concept of a triple bottom line, where you balance economic, social, and environmental impacts. But all too often, we're not doing that.
I'm a little unclear on the question because if I were an investor